Hi, I'm Joanna Bieszczat and welcome to this video in which you're going to learn how by doing this simple exercise you can change the way you view yourself so you can become confident and have a healthy self-esteem. By the way, this masterclass is part of my online course which helps people to improve their self-esteem, and you can find a link to it below. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below so you won't miss my helpful tips. So, without further ado, here's my promised masterclass. Enjoy it! In this masterclass, I want to introduce a new way of looking at things, a new way that can help you to become who you want. There is an amazing book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I think he's really good at explaining top tips on how us humans can change. The second chapter of his book is titled How Your Habits Shape Your Identity, and in the brackets he adds, and vice versa. And I think that what's in the brackets is the most crucial part. The problem that we humans have is that we create certain pattern circuits in our brain, and we tend to repeat them. They become habits and we do things automatically. So if you feel you're not good enough, you'll behave in a certain way and you'll keep repeating this process, which usually will reinforce this belief you hold about yourself. The neuroscience tells us that if you keep thinking the same way, your life stays the same. As you keep repeating the same patterns, nothing changes. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that personality creates your personal reality. And your personality is made of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. In order for you to change your life, to change your personal reality, you're going to have to change your personality. This means you'll have to start thinking differently, start feeling differently, and what will follow is that you will start acting differently. You'll have to produce a change in your inner world, in the way you see yourself, in the way you think about yourself, and how you feel about yourself, and how you perceive your personality and your identity. And only then you can achieve change in your life. You need to ask yourself, do I want the feelings and thoughts I've been having so far in my future? If not, then you need to realize that you have the power to change things. You can do so by creating a new identity, a new personality, a new way of thinking about yourself, and the rest will follow. You will feel different and will make different choices in life, and you will behave differently. And one important thing I'd like to mention is that trying to create a new reality doesn't work, but what works is to create a new personality, and then changes in life will follow. So, hear me out. For example, if you want to lose weight, diets generally don't work, as this is just trying to change your personal reality. But if we start thinking about ourselves differently, if we create a new personality where we think of ourselves as a person who makes healthy food choices, then we start acting in accordance with this belief. Research shows that 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts. Then no surprise that our life is usually staying the same, as it leads to the same behavior, same choices, same feelings, same experiences, and so on. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that neurobiology shows that nerve cells that fire together wire together. So if you keep thinking the same way, keep acting the same way, if you keep emotionally reacting to the same conditions in your life by acting of repetition, neurons become hardwired. And this becomes our personality. We know in psychology that the best predictor of someone's behavior is their past behavior. Why is it so difficult, for example, to sustain a healthy habit, and why do we go back to our bad habits? For example, why is it difficult to start exercising or meditating, even if we know it's good for us? Yet, when we start, we usually are able to do it for a few days or a week, but then it becomes a hassle and we stop doing it. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, says that we are trying to change the wrong thing. He talks about different levels when it comes to changing things. So, the first level is changing outcomes. For example, losing weight. Goals are usually associated with this level. The second level is processes, such as, for example, getting gym membership and going to the gym, developing practice, and so on. The third level, the deepest one, is related to your identity, your self-image, your worldview, your beliefs. For example, holding a belief about yourself, such as, I'm a person who exercises regularly. And he says, outcome is what you get, processes is what you do, and identity is what you believe. He stresses that all these levels are important, but sometimes the direction is just wrong. Most of us focus on what we want to achieve, which becomes an outcome-based habit. But the trick is to focus on who we want to become, so on that identity level. And he gives a great example that illustrates that. So imagine two people trying to quit smoking and you offer them a cigarette. The first person says, no thank you, I'm trying to quit. So their identity is as someone who is still a smoker but trying to kick the bad habit. His identity is still as a smoker. And now, imagine the second person and they say, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. It is a very small difference in the vocabulary used, but it signals the shift in identity. The second person sees themselves already as a non-smoker. Can you see the difference? Can you see how these two people might feel differently and their commitment levels to quitting the bad habit are different? James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, states that behavior that is incongruent with your identity doesn't stick, and the one that is in line with the way you identify yourself leads to actions showing that identity. It's very different when we say, I want this, and very different when we say, I am this. I remember when I started running and my training was fairly regular, but I had not felt that much commitment to it. It was easy to skip it when I didn't feel like putting on my trainers or when it was raining and so on. And then one day my running partner said to me, Joe, we are athletes. I remember it took me some time to grasp it. But then I was like, yeah, I am. And everything changed in that moment. I committed myself to more regular training. If it was raining or I didn't feel like training, I would still go, as I was an athlete, and that's what athletes do. So, I hope that you get the idea that it's not sometimes about starting with the outcome, what we want to achieve, but changing the way we think about ourselves, and the rest will follow. Okay, so now the main question is, how do we create a different personality, different identity? How do we start thinking and feeling about ourselves differently? How do we achieve that change? And the answer that you're looking for is visualization. It's something that psychologists, counselors, therapists use quite frequently in therapy sessions to help people with various issues. For example, to help people become better versions of themselves, to leave behind things that don't serve them, to feel better about themselves, to experience how it feels to have a different identity. And also, it's very commonly used in sports psychology to help athletes improve their performance. For example, a basketball player might visualize making a successful free shot, or a long jumper visualizes how they are going to make that long jump, and so on. And it helps them to actually execute this better. Okay, so how do we create an identity of someone with healthy self-esteem? Well, it can be a simple, quite pleasant process. What we know is that our brain doesn't distinguish between reality and what we imagine. For example, if I asked you to close your eyes now and imagine a hot, sunny day. It's really hot. You're sweating and you're feeling thirsty. So you go to the kitchen to prepare for yourself a lemonade. You take juicy lemon out of the fridge. You smell its citric scent. You cut it in half and the juice is dripping on your fingers. You lift your fingers to your mouth and you lick off the citric tasting juice of them. Just imagine that. and notice what happened. Did you start producing saliva in your mouth? I always do. So you see, the brain responds to something you imagine with changing your physiology in your body. Visualization is a really powerful tool. So I'd like to give you now a visualization that will allow you to change your identity so you can feel more confident and like someone with healthy self-esteem. So you can become that person now and the rest will follow. So let's do this short exercise. And I'll ask you to repeat this exercise over the next month or couple of months on a daily basis so that your brain can create different neural connections, different circuits, and so that new identity can become your personal reality. I'd like you to sit comfortably on a chair or sofa or lie down, whichever feels more comfortable to you. Now, close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths through your nose, then hold your breath for a couple of seconds and release it through your mouth slowly. Allow your breath to return to normal. Drop your shoulders. Notice your body relaxing. Now, think of someone who you believe has a healthy self-esteem, who is confident, someone you admire and would like to have similar self-esteem and confidence as they have. It might be a person you know or a public person. Anyone you'd like to be more of. Imagine them in front of you. Just notice how they walk, how they stand tall, how they act and speak. Now, I'd like you to imagine stepping out of your body and floating into their body, stepping into them, in their shoes. Be in their body and feel what they feel. Notice that positive feeling that comes with feeling good about yourself, knowing that people like you, respect you, and want to spend time with you. Just notice how good it feels. In a moment, you will carry that great feeling with you as you step back into yourself. But for now, just notice how healthy self-esteem and confidence feels. Familiarize yourself with the feeling. Enjoy it. Through their eyes, notice yourself standing in front of them. Now, slowly float back into your own body, bringing with you all the positive feelings that came with healthy self-esteem and confidence. Now, these feelings are part of you. They are inside you. Awaken. Notice how your posture changes and you straighten up, how you feel generally more relaxed, and how your belief in yourself grows. Notice how comfortable you feel in your own skin, how you stand straight and tall with your head held up. You have this deep sense inside of knowing you are a lovely person whose intentions are always good. Others see it too. You have a lot to offer. And now you have this new belief in you. It's your new identity that'll help you to exhibit all of your positive sides, and you're ready to let yourself shine. Notice how this positive energy emanates from within you. It gets brighter and brighter. You attract only positivity now, and you have protection around you from anything that doesn't serve you. You know your intentions are always good, and people around you see it. You have a deep sense you are good enough. All you need to do is just be, and that's enough. People are attracted to you. The right people surround you and care for you. Pause for a moment to notice that feeling. Notice how great it feels to be confident, to like yourself, and allow others to like and care for you. Notice how this feels in your body. Take a few moments to enjoy it. Imagine how you deal with situations in life when you have healthy self-esteem and confidence, and the positive outcomes you get. Make these images as vivid as possible, as this is your identity now. Enjoy these images and the positive feelings about yourself. Take your time, and when you are ready, bring yourself back into the room and open your eyes slowly. How was it? You need to repeat it numerous times, as only then your brain will create new neural pathways, and this will become your new reality. It'll override the old unhelpful circuits that you live in the past, as they have not served you well, and it was time to change them. I hope you enjoyed this exercise. Stick with it, and you'll see the change that you desire. And that's exactly what I wish for you. I hope you enjoyed this masterclass. If you'd like to find out more about how you can boost your self-esteem and confidence, please follow the link below this video that will take you to my online course. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below so you won't miss my helpful tips. See you there.